So remaining on this image, I want to talk about animating grades, where you talk about keyframes, but we didn't talk about the great usage of keyframes. So we know for this one, I want to disable this, contrast layer because I have to keyframe them. And just for, this one, that we created the look with these two nodes. So what if we want to animate them? What if we want to translate our emotion from one part of the image to another? The thing that you have to know is that opening keyframes, all your corrector are there. So you have your parallel mixers, you have all, and the parallel mixers, by the way, are set in order of creation. You have all your corrector with the number that is in there, and you now want to work with the corrector 3 and the corrector 7. So these two will work great for us. So I know when this guy put his headphone on and cool with this color. So I want to keep this color on the corrector 3 and on the corrector 7 in the same way. So I maybe want to make a little tweak to add that keyframe, and then come back like one there, and same thing on the primary look, just make a little quick and come back to 1. Okay, and after setting your keyframe, that by the way you can also set by pressing there, we want to return to the initial part and add like everything from the highlights of the image to be really, I don't know, maybe blue, maybe not that much orangey. So I want to go on the log wheel, and I will crank my midtones to cyan like this, and I want to set my highlights to 0. So I go for 0, even there on the blue, 0, 0, 0, perfect. And I want to change my low range, go keeping an eye there, so there is fine for me. And by the way, if you want to be safe on not going below 0, just go on curves, and there you have the soft clip. The soft clip will help you set the 0 point if you want to set it, or just setting this low saver or low softer. By cranking this up, it will softer your lows, and that's incredible. I use that a lot. And I also want to go there on my primary slug, and maybe I want to tweak again even more to this cyan, and having super down like there, as we are turning on lights. And then by pressing play, everything start returning normality with keyframes. So as we've done before, we can also tweak these keyframes. We can add more keyframes in there, but animating the look sometimes might help you. Maybe right there I want it to be just there, maybe on a higher point, even going there. And this helps you too if you want to create depth mood to your scene. You can move it there and just canceling this keyframe and putting this here. It will help you a lot if you want to elevate your narrative, if you want to start with a different mood and then turn everything up or down, if you want to change colors. And by the way, when you are pressing a keyframe in there, that is taking everything we've done on our image. So we have the linear windows, circular windows, so everything that is in there is there. And you can choose to animate some singular parts just by adding keyframes, or by, sorry, this is for the bypassing the keyframes, just by adding keyframes, or just by moving, everything together. You're also able, by selecting your keyframe, to make it dynamic, so it will be smoother. You can also able to select them, and as we saw before, changing the dynamic attributes. So I want to start on a really smooth way like this, and ending, I don't know, maybe as it is, or maybe I want to dissolve it a bit like this, and you will have it animated. And that's great. That's great. Even if you want, use power window. Let's enhance this even more, like this, even brighter. So it will become even brighter. Or maybe we want to change the color there and make it all yellowy, super yellowy on that side. I don't know. You can do it in any way. It will start and go into the yellow and crank up, super golden look. So use them in the best way, use them in the way it's cool to you. You can, even pop that down if you want to keep the curves, but I'm usual to do like this. But yeah, keyframes work exactly in the same way it works on the edit part. You just have to be conscious that sometimes they could change the overall look of your image. You don't want to add too many of them. I usually recommend to use them just to change maybe the motivation point or the color. If you're doing something like a time lapse and you want to start from a really blue color and going into yellowy orangey color, that's good. If you want to change the mood, that's great. But by the way, stick with the keyframe. Don't add too much if you just want to change the motivation. And these are great. I use them a lot just to change the mood of my scenes.